Hi friends. Welcome to Kerala EduStar. If you are watching the channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Then share it with your friends and relatives. If you like the video, please like it. Today our video includes Kerala Syllabus 6th Class Social Science 2nd Chapter, Medieval India Society Resource and Trade. Of this chapter notes and textual questions. Let's go to the video. Chapter 2, Medieval India, Society, Resource and Trade. Learning through this chapter recognizes the importance of travelogues as a source of history, analyzes the social and economic life in medieval India, evaluates different kinds of economic activities that favored the growth of towns, explains the advancement in the field of learning in medieval India. Then let us go to the chapter. Chapter 2, Medieval India, Society, Resource and Trade. Agriculture and artisanship. Agriculture was the chief occupation of the people of medieval India. Cotton, cereals, pulses, indigo, sugarcane, etc. were the major crops. In this period, there was plenty of cultivable land in India that was kept uncultivated. Those who first cultivated in such land were granted its ownership right. The hardworking farmers tried to win the ownership of such lands in this way. Let us see the steps taken by the rulers for the progress of agriculture. Arranged irrigation facilities, supplied seeds, granted tax relaxation. In the medieval period, the officers were given land as wages. This system was known as Ikta during the Sultanate period and Jagirdari during the Mughal period. What were the factors that promoted the progress of agriculture during the Sultanate and the Mughal periods? Discuss. Some important factors contributed to the promotion of agricultural progress during the Sultanate period. Irrigation facility provided, seeds were distributed, tax relief granted, the financing of the economy, the issuance of numerous metal coins, the centralization of governance, and the regulation of the revenue system. These factors include, in addition to agriculture, many occupations for making agricultural tools existed in villages. What might be they? Discuss. Agriculture, animal rearing, carpentry, horticulture, pottery making, trade, weaving, spinning, coir making, fishing. The cotton, indigo, and silk produced by the rural folks enriched the textile industry. The Indian weavers produced garments of different colors and quality. The garments made of silk, cotton, and wool were important among them. New tools like spinning wheel and looms were used for weaving. Indigo and color mixtures were used for dyeing the textile. Indian textile won world acclaim. Discuss how the agricultural sector promoted the growth of the textile industry. Weaving and other handicrafts were important jobs in cities. The rural people were more concerned with agriculture. This was due to the favorable climate and soil for cultivation. So they cultivated cotton, silk and indigo, made a lot of fabrics and made new types of weaving tools for it. Agricultural sector helped the weaving industry a lot. Towns and trade. Indian spices, textiles, leather, gems, sandal, metals, pearl, ivory, etc. were in great demand in foreign countries. These commodities attracted traders to India. Several traders from different parts of the world reached India in the medieval period. The foreigners who engaged in trade with India, Chinese, Arabs, Portuguese, Dutch, English, French. Towns developed around the production centers and markets. Dakcha, Pathan, Kanchipuram, Urayur, Madurai, etc. were the towns that developed this way. Artisans, traders, officers, servants, slaves, and so on constituted the urban population. Find out the major trade centers of medieval India from the given map. Ahmedabad, Surat, Hampi, Kanchipuram, Mahabalipuram, Urayur, Thanjavur, Kozhikode, Kollam, Madurai, Kochi, Murshidabad, Calcutta, Dikcha, Pathan, Agra, Delhi. Discuss the common geographical features that help the progress of the South Indian trade centers. One of the biggest factors is the presence of the sea or the important port which are located in South India. As a result of this, it is easy to carry on trade by the sea. In addition to this, it has plenty of alluvial soil which helps it a good center for the growth of different types of crops. It is said to be the geographical feature that contributed to the commercial development of South India. Workshops. Karkhanas were the centers that produced and supplied goods for the palaces of the Mughal kings and nobles. Which occupational groups could be found in the karkhanas? Clothing makers, embroiderers, pottery makers, shoemakers, carpets, furniture makers, goldsmiths, painters. Social life. Social and economic inequalities existed among the people back then. Let us see what they were. Social status was determined on the basis of caste, occupation, and wealth. Kings, lords, priests, officers, etc. enjoyed higher social status. Those who engaged in agriculture and handicraft belonged to lower social strata. Each caste had its own customs and rituals. Evil customs like the sati and child marriage prevailed. India, the abode of knowledge. Several educational centers existed in medieval India as well. Students from different parts of the world flocked to these centers in search of knowledge. The educational centers in Banaras, Agra, Lahore, Kanchi, Mathura, and Delhi were remarkable. Among them, astronomy and mathematics advanced during the period. Leelavati by Bhaskaracharya was a famous work in mathematics. Observatories were established in Jaipur, Delhi, Ujjain, and Banaras. Several texts were translated into Persian. Organize a seminar on the topic, the socio-economic conditions and the advancement of learning during the medieval period. Socio-economic condition. The most remarkable feature of the economic system of the Mughals was the gap that kept the producers and the consumers far asunder. The producers were agriculturists, workers in the cottage industries, artisans, producers of consumers' goods like oil, cloth, sugar, extra workers in the karkhanas. The consumers were the rulers, nobles, officers both civil and military, professional and religious classes, slaves, servants and other sundry people. The result was, particularly in view of lack of every transport, that the producers received only marginal profits whereas the middlemen and traders got the lion's share of the profit. This is largely true even today. Another important feature of the Mughal economic system was the unnecessary burden that the state economy was made to bear due to the huge number of servants and slaves retained by the emperor, nobles and high officials, who practically served more as decoration rather than actual service hands. This was a great waste of the state income. India of those days as even of today lived in villages and the society was broadly divided into Hindus and Muslims. The Hindus, needless to say, formed the great majority of the population. They included the Jains, the Buddhists and the Sikhs among them. The upper classes of the Hindu society mostly belonged to the Brahman, Kayastha, Rajput and Vaishya castes and did neither interdine nor intermarry between them. There were many other mixed classes in the society. The Baidyas were a mixed class next to the Brahmanas. These apart, there were various other castes and sub-castes which grew up as a result of social mixture, i.e. intermarriage between castes. There was much conservatism among the Hindus of upper classes. Advancement of learning. Several educational centers existed in medieval India as well. Students from different parts of the world flocked to these centers in search of knowledge. The educational centers in Banaras, Agra, Lahore, Kanchi, Mathura, and Delhi were remarkable. Among them, astronomy and mathematics advanced during the period. Leelavati by Bhaskaracharya was a famous work in mathematics. Observatories were established in Jaipur, Delhi, Ujjain, and Banaras. Several texts were translated into Persian. 1. The agricultural activities in medieval India were admirable. Explain. Answer. In medieval India, the plenty of cultivable land that was kept uncultivated. Government granted ownership to those people who first cultivated in such uncultivated land. So people eagerly participated in farming. Rulers supported them by providing irrigational facilities, supplying seeds, and even exempted tax to promote agriculture. Land was given as remuneration to government servants. Separate employment zones existed during those periods. They built agricultural tools with wood and metal. The production of indigo, cotton, etc. improved a lot. It helped the weaving industry. The farmers also chances to sell their products. Agriculture products as well as its industrial products were also sold in neighboring countries. 2. How did the spread of weaving and trade facilitate the growth of towns? Answer. Farmers produced cotton in abundance. It helped the weaving industry. They weaved excellent quality clothes of different varieties. Towns developed in and around the centers of production and market. Streets of towns were famous for the variety of products they exhibited. Indian clothes were famous in neighboring countries too. Spices like pepper, cardamom, dry ginger, sandal, etc. were too dear to the foreigners. Products like leather, pearl, diamond and ivory were in great demand in foreign countries. Chinese, Arab, Portuguese, Dutch and English traders came to India to purchase these products. It also helped the growth and development of the cities. 3. What were the factors that attracted the travelers and traders to medieval India? Answer. Beautiful and diverse feature of the climate and physiographic of India. Availability of costly and precious spices. Famous textiles. Famous stones. Pearl, ivory and leather products attracted traders to India. 4. Examine the progress attained by medieval India in the field of learning. Answer. World-famous educational institutions were established in Nalanda, Banaras, Agra, Lahore, Mathura and Delhi. Medieval India was famous for astronomy and mathematics. Leelavati of Bhaskaracharya was a famous work in mathematics. Students from other countries came to India. Observatories were established in Jaipur, Delhi, Ujjain and Banaras. Chess, Panchatantra stories, mathematics, etc. were the contributions of India to the world. Summary of the chapter. The travelogues of the foreigners provide information about medieval India. During the medieval period, several foreigners came to India for trade. The rulers facilitated the progress of agriculture and trade. Handicrafts and trade centers developed during the medieval period. Karkhanas were the centers that produced and supplied goods for the palaces of the Mughal kings and nobles. Social and economic inequalities existed during the medieval period. India attained economic progress along with advancement in learning. If you understand this chapter, thanks for watching the video. Thank you.